Get into it. The big story this week, unfortunately, that was originally starting to circle last week as far as reports, it kind of got confirmed over the weekend. And that is that Metallica has been scalping tickets to their own shows. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I don't know I don't know a whole lot of the details involved in all this. All I know is that it was a representative from Live Nation was caught talking about something like this on some sort of recorded phone call. It seemed kind of like an intense thing for a concert ticket scandal. But nonetheless, someone with Metallica was working with Live Nation to release a whole bunch of tickets on resale sites at the same time as the general on sale. So instead of just releasing all the tickets to the general public for the on sale, they got their pre sales and their VIPs and their platinums, whatever that go on sale beforehand. The rest of the tickets are supposed to go on sale. The ones that don't get sold out during the pre-sales or whatever different, whether it's a radio pre-sale, a venue pre-sale, an artist pre-sale, a city member card pre-sale, whatever tickets are left over, those are usually, thought to just go to the general public on sale. Well, evidently, Metallica, a representative from Metallica, not Metallica. That's pretty important to clarify. They supposedly don't know anything about this, but had been working with Live Nation to take a big chunk of tickets. They said like anywhere from 4 to 10,000 tickets. They would take them and place them directly on the resale market, gouging the prices and getting more for them. And there's a lot to talk about here. The first thing I got to mention, which I already kind of did, is the Metallica thing. I fully believe that Metallica did not know that this was going on. And the only reason I believe that is because if you remember back a couple of years ago, there was a story about a Metallica tribute band. I believe they were called Sandman. There's a bunch of Metallica tribute acts, so I'm not entirely sure which one it was. But they had been issued a cease and desist from Metallica, right, saying, you didn't get our permission to do this. You don't have any of the copyright paperwork bullshit, any of that to be playing as Metallica and, essentially making money, blah, blah, blah. That hit the news. It kind of went viral. People were like, man, Metallica, why are they being such assholes to these guys that are just trying to pay tribute to them? And then the members of the band came out and they were like, whoa, whoa, we don't know anything about that. And so they ended up cutting a deal with them. They charged them like $1 for all their rights. And it was a really cool thing. And they explained that as like an overzealous representative, saw an opportunity for more money or whatever the case, but they didn't actually have a whole lot to do with it. That's one thing you got to realize about these giant bands is they're essentially companies. Like they have a lot of people working off of them. So even though Metallica did this, Lars, James, they didn't do this. Metallica, the property, did this, I guess. Somebody associated with it. But as far as we know, there's been no evidence that James Hetfield sat there and was like, you know what, we're not getting paid enough. We need more money. Although a conversation could have happened like that led this Sparky guy to do this, I'm not entirely sure. But it seems like a decision that definitely should have been more thought out. And it definitely seems like something they did not expect people to find out about. The other thing, they said that they did this for a number of artists, but they haven't released which other artists were involved with this. But this will be kind of interesting to see. Let's see. Why would you do this? So concert tickets are already pretty expensive, and the thing people do nowadays, especially with how easy it is to resell them over the internet and stuff, there's a lot of people making money off of the hard work that these musicians put in to make these super successful and fantastic concerts, right? So, like, for instance, there's a Post Malone concert getting ready to happen in my town this week, which I will be going to, and the recap will be up next weekend. Little plug there, I'll plug it more at the end. Nonetheless, tickets for that show, face value, were about anywhere from like 70 to $100 or something like that, right? There's immediately people online selling them for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. And at that point, the money from the ticket resales goes to the seller and the website, the host site, wherever you're selling these tickets. So Metallica, or Post Malone in this case, is only getting paid for the initial sale of the tickets. And so obviously they did this because they're upset about other people making money off of them, which is totally understandable, but I don't think this was the right solution to it. I think the right solution to it would have been the Eric Church approach, where he went and canceled all the tickets that had been bought by scalpers and then resold them to the general audience. That was a real cool thing to do. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. This is a shit show for sure, and I'm not sure what else is going to come of this. Maybe not. As far as I know, and maybe not anything. As far as I know, they didn't actually break any laws or anything of that nature. So it will be interesting to see. Something does need done about online ticket scalping, but this definitely doesn't help. This actually kind of reminds me of the whole Garth Brooks record store fiasco from the 90s, which I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Garth Brooks CDs go into the record store, right? They sell them. He gets the proceeds from that. But then people bring those CDs back. The record store takes them in and then resells them. Not necessarily for more, usually for less, right? They're selling a used CD. And they keep that money, right? The celebrities typically don't get royalties off of resale albums. But I kind of thought that was okay because it's just the record store is acting as kind of like a liaison, exposing more people to the music by selling these resale albums. Plus, they weren't making that much money off of it. Anyways, that was the thing that happened. Garth Brooks got mad that these people were making money off of him. That situation is a little bit different, I think, because I saw the record stores as taking the profit as just kind of like a fee. The ticket scalping, though, I don't like ticket scalping. Though, I do have to say that the only reason ticket scalping is so bad is because concert tickets themselves are very expensive. The reason scalping's so bad is because it's so easy to do now, right? You just get online, and as long as you have the money lined up, you don't even have to go stand in some cold line somewhere for hours waiting for tickets to go on sale, unless you're going to a Nine Inch Nails show, which that's pretty cool. But you don't have to do that anymore, right? And concert tickets are very expensive, meaning already. Like face value, they're already pretty expensive, meaning that you can scalp them for much more. And the reason why they're so expensive is, or at least one of the reasons, I mean, economy, inflation, all that has to do with it. But the one thing that I keep hearing about that makes the most sense to me is if you think about when was the last time you actually bought a CD? Like, I know they get money from iTunes and stuff, so if you buy albums on iTunes, that's cool. But like I'm thinking in my head, like a physical album, or even on iTunes, whatever. When's the last time you actually bought music instead of getting it from a streaming service or anything like that? A lot of people don't buy albums anymore, and most people don't buy any physical media anymore. And so a lot of these bands make the majority of their money from touring, which is why tickets have to be so expensive in the first place. And so I think this whole thing can be figured out. I think the price of concert tickets could go down and we can avoid all this scalping and stuff if they just figure out how to make sure these artists are getting paid more accurately for their music, because Metallica, as you know, was also involved with the whole Napster lawsuit, which I thought they were in the right to do, although there's been some comments on my Facebook page where I posted this story where people were bringing that up. They're saying Metallica doesn't like its fans, and of course they're scalping their fans. You know, they sued Napster. They don't care about their fans. And it's like, well, no, they do, but you got to realize they work hard to make this music, to put on these shows. So they are deserving of most of the proceeds from this. Scalping your fans, though, that is not cool. I do not like that. I don't like ticket scalping in general, even though, you know, I've done it. I think it's kind of, it's slimy, you know. I don't like making money off of other people's work. Like, it's not like these people were not, it's not like, so the record store, right? Somebody might not go to that, or somebody might pick up that Garth Brooks CD because it's used, where they wouldn't have picked it up when it was brand new, right? They get a lower price for the used. The ticket scalping, that argument doesn't really work. Like, the ticket scalpers aren't doing the artists any favors, because these people that are buying the scalp tickets are already trying to go to the show. They're not getting a deal by going to a scalper. They're actually, at least the vast majority of the time, paying more. And so the ticket scalpers don't actually do anything at all to help the artist. So I think that's a problem that needs addressed in ways like Eric Church or Nine Inch Nails have been doing. I think that those are solutions that are just in the very beginning, and hopefully we can figure this out, because people are going to keep going to concerts. That's not going to go away. But the price of it is just going to keep on rising, and we're gonna have to deal with more situations like this, unfortunately. And yeah, main things to take away from this story, I guess. I don't have an overall thought on it. I don't like it. I believe that Metallica isn't actually involved. And I think this is something that's probably been happening for a while. Like, I honestly wasn't super surprised reading this because it's kind of something that I assumed. But it's pretty messed up if you ask me, because a lot of the people that end up paying for scalper tickets are people that are trying to go to a show last minute, or if they're buying it the day of, right? They're really trying to go because the main ticket's sold out or whatever. That's why they're going to these secondary sources. These people know that they're spending more money, right? Obviously, if they can get it for face value, they're going to. So these people really want to go and see you, and you're just kind of fucking them, and I don't think there's enough justification for that. But the reason I wasn't surprised is because Live Nation is the one that's behind this, and there has been one that I specifically remember, but there's been a couple other concerts that they've put on too, where I've got on right when tickets go on sale, right? I've been in the waiting room this whole time. I do everything exactly the way they want me to by the second, and when I get through, tickets are all sold out. And that happened with the Dave Chappelle show at Red Rocks in 2017, and I think it happened for one other concert that they put on, but I can't remember what it was. So like I said, I wasn't surprised, but it is one of those things. It's like you kind of had a feeling this was going on the whole time, but then realizing that, oh shit, it actually is. It's kind of like, it's just kind of a bummer, right? It's disheartening. Like, you like to think that people wouldn't be like that, and that artists would be more honest, especially because they're rolling in money, dude. They're not hurting at all. I mean, these guys are super rich, but I mean, they feel that they deserve to be more rich, and honestly, I'm not cool with other people making money off of them. So yeah, we'll leave that there. Another news story